Jennifer, Jennifer, where have you been? I know. I made a birthday vlog and then I dipped, except wrong. Jennifer Mayle is doing things. What's she doing? I'll tell you. So my birthday gift for me.
It's my birthday gift to me.
I enrolled in some acting classes. It just felt like something fun, something creative to do in a communal setting with other people. Because if you know, I know, we all know, I work remotely. So like I don't get a lot of human interaction. There are some times I get to call somebody and talk to them, but whew, I have been swamped with cases and work, and I was just like, I can't. Not in this environment. I wanted to do something with other people, so this is the thing that made sense. There were other things on my creative list that I was like, I could do this. I'm like, but this checks off my need for other people, and I'm like, perfect. Whew, those were a lot of words. So my experience so far, it's very fun. Everybody is so lovely, they're so great. It's so nice to be around other people, and it's very interesting to see like the different types of people. Like some people are working, some people just dream to have worked, and some people like have worked before. And then it's just me who's just happy to be there. Oh, I will say, very competitive. I have, since taking the class, I've watched 2 master classes, one with Samuel Jackson and one with Natalie Portman. They're very good, very informative, and it kind of like, it took what the acting coach's words, what he would say, and it like expanded on it. So it just made a lot more sense. It pieced all these little pieces together between, you know, watching these master classes and taking this class. It was just like perfect. It's also very interesting. Like first day, I was so nervous. I'm standing there, a 34-year-old adult, waiting my turn to play pretend while watching other adults play pretend. And then finally I was like, I could just leave. I could just leave, just walk out, and that be that. But I'm grateful that I didn't. I stayed at the class. The end of the class, one of the guys said to me, "Do you think you're going to be here?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." He handed me a script and said, "Will you do this with me?" And I said, "Sure." So let's watch this micro short called Friends with Benefits, and then at the end, we will talk about it. See, the problem with you is you don't see true love when it's staring you right in the face.
How fascinating.
Well, let me give you an example. The woman this afternoon, the way she was dribbling all over as you spoke to her.
You're mistaken. I'm pretty sure that woman had a disability.
Dribbling disability? How can you be so sure?
Because I know for a fact that women simply don't respond to me in that manner.
And you say you never had a female friend like you? I mean, more than a friend?
I mean, I consider you a friend.
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about an intimate friendship.
That, my friend, is a very personal question.
Well, I'm sorry, but after all I've seen, those types of personal questions, they're just not fun anymore.
What are you suggesting? Are you implying maybe me, you, something?
Well, I mean, that, my friend, is a very personal question. Do you know what I like? There's just like this one part, like the very end, where I go, well, that, my friend, is a very personal question. No, I didn't do it like that. I played it very girly, flirty. What I really like about these scenes are most of them, the acting coach wrote them. So they're available to everybody. So Mike, my co-star, it inspired these other people in the class to play it, and it's very interesting to see like how they're performing it, and like, you know, like just changing words and stuff. And it was also interesting to see how they, you know, like what they chose to do. Like, you know, like the line is, she was dribbling all over you. And I don't know why I did this. I think it was to help me remember the word dribbling. Dribbling all over. But they want to do it and say drooling instead of dribbling. And I'm like, I don't know. It was in the script, you know. I think that was my notes, like throughout the rehearsals, was like, you know, like touch, like play with your necklace, play with your jewelry, play with your hair, like, you know, and like things like that. And I'm like, there's a lot of like going on, and it doesn't make sense. And then you like watch movies, or again, like this was from Natalie Portman, where it's like, you naturally, and also my acting coach, but but you know, it's something like, you know, someone telling you something versus like watching it on a movie, or excuse me, watching it through master class, or like watching it in the movies. You're like, yeah, I guess you don't just do that. People do move when they're talking, and like when they're typing, and they're, you know, you're eating, you're doing dishes, you're doing other things while you're talking. You're not just stoically speaking to a camera. You're moving your hands, you're being a nut job. Them's the rules, right? So to me, I think that was kind of like my first hurdle, was to be like, what do you mean? So now I'm like choreographing things to say and to do when I say the things, and it like helps me remember some of my lines, which I thought would be the hardest part, and it turns out it's not. All right, but yeah, this one was cute. This one's very flirty, very fun. So like, so the next characters are going to be different, and I think that's what I want to do. I want to find scripts with different character types and different people to play with, essentially. I want to eventually like play, you know, I want to act with like, I guess everyone in the class, or just anyone that would want to act with me in the class, but yeah, so right now, like, this was like flirty, it was fun. This did feel like the hardest one to do. It kept getting pushed back for filming, which is also interesting. And like I said, it was under a minute long, but you know, it was perfect. No, I'm just kidding. The editing was also interesting, specifically like how it was lit. And I didn't realize until the next video we watched that my acting coach intentionally lights differently to do different moods and different like aspects of the different characters and things. I didn't realize he was doing that intentionally. I thought it was just, you know, whatever. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. But I remember watching this the first time and being like, wow, just how my character was specifically lit. It was almost like 2008 indie movie type, or what I should say, like high-end movie that was paid a lot of money to look like an indie movie. Like you know what I mean? Almost very just like grungy, sort of like just like your basement love story. Where I was like, Mike's got the good lighting, but I have a lot cooler lighting. And I was like, I wonder why he did that. I just thought he just did whatever. It turns out he does that intentionally, and he said it during the shooting of this one. So let's watch Red, that my friend and acting partner Mayle Coates wrote. All right, let's watch it.
Thank you.
How's the salmon?
It's good.
Alex, you hardly touched it. What's going on?
Nothing. It's nothing, Red. Seriously, can we just drop it? So I hear there's a new movie coming out next week.
Nope.
It's happening again. It's not as bad. It's only a few nights a week. He could just be out with his friends.
Same girl?
Same smell.
What do you want us to do about it?
I don't think we can. I don't think I have it in me.
Okay.
Keep being a doormat. What a great role model for Jess.
Would you stop? I can't talk about this right now.
Well, when you decide to grow a spine, you let me know.
Ooh, spicy. Am I right? What's funny is I learned how to make, and really I think it's tuna, but with watermelon, because she was just going to bring in a salad. And I was just like, no, that doesn't make sense. How's the salmon? And we used, for 1 second, I think it was second 8, you can see it in the shot, and it's perfect. It's perfect. Nailed it. It's beautiful. She actually ate it when we were done, and it was just watermelon that was in the oven for an hour. Like, she does have like a softer light, and like there are just like harsher shadows on my character. My character's name was Red, and the whole idea for this, for Mayle, was, you know, she's got a man who's cheating on her, and Red has a business that takes care of people, and she doesn't like that her friend's getting taken advantage of. I don't think I like it. I don't know that I practice the faces. I think very William Dafoe. I think the faces just came to me. Like, I read the words, like, what do you want us to do about it? Like, this was like, nope, not that. I don't know. That was something that I did practice. I put on fake nails. You got to get in the character. I put on the red lipstick. The only thing that I really wish that I didn't really do is I didn't practice, I didn't rehearse, in my opinion, enough with like the plate and the knife and the fork, because I realized after, like, I was playing with it, I was like, I should have been like using the knife. I should have been using this stuff more. And also in like the beginning, I'm looking down a lot, and it's very, well, I was very harsh about it when I first saw it, but then like, after watching it a couple times, like, this isn't bad. Mayle's a talent. Mayle's a star. She's actually a theater actress, so she's here to get her reel created so she can like transfer over to film. And I'm like so excited. It's so exciting to like be in a class full of like very talented people and being like I'm like, I want to see that person on the screen one day. Like, I know I am. Like, it's cool to watch. Like I said, very harsh when I watched it the first time, but like I was like I go back and I look at it and like it's a, you know, it's a look at me job, it's a look at me activity. So, you know, I can't get better if I'm not watching it. You know, I kind of wanted Nope to be a little Nope, but like this is a lot harsher, and I don't hate it how it came out. Like I said, if I were to do it again or practice it better, I would definitely have rehearsed more with the props, so I could play with maybe the knife. Like, what do you want to do about it? It's something. All right, so let's watch the one that we just filmed on Thursday. And this is with Miss Giovanna Evans and Devin Alston. So let's watch this one, and then we'll talk about it. Oh my God, yes, Francisco Poltro. He's definitely one of my so-called regulars.
By the looks, not exactly the teacher's pet.
Fran definitely had an A in anarchy and a D in disordered, if you know what I mean. Off the record, detectives. Fran had a lot of hidden talents. Comedy, especially. Could have been the next Jim Carrey.
Where to get his afternoon last from after school, would you know?
I think the Lower East Side might be the McKinley Projects. He lived with his foster mom and her, whatever he is.
Boyfriend.
So you don't see or hear from a kid in weeks and you don't notice these things?
30, 40 kids per class, another 100 online. At times it's rather overwhelming. Here we go. Fran was a transfer from Grover, Cleveland on the Brooklyn-Queens borderline.
So when did he get the transfer?
Towards the end of last year. He was forced in our in-school suspension program.
So if it was an in-school suspension program, what happened?
Way too many categories that are subject to interpretation. Your guess is as good as mine, detectives.
Which means you don't have an answer.
Precisely.
First of all, skinny legend, Jennifer Mayle. Who is she? This is such a good look. But, alright. Something that I did that I feel very disrespectful, and I don't like it. I didn't realize how bad it was until I see it. I went for a little mini hike before I had to go to class because I was like, I'm not going to the gym. I might as well go get some steps in. It'll be okay. Right? Right. I had already had my makeup on. I was good. I guess I was like, we're going to be in the woods. It's not going to be that hot. I sweated my eyebrows off. So if you go back and watch, your girl's got the blonde eyebrows instead of the drawn on ones, which, you know, it's okay. I did learn my lesson though from the previous week of shooting red that I for sure was not going full outfit with the stockings, and I wasn't doing it. And the long sleeve dress, even though I will say that dress was a moment. I do appreciate that dress. And I do appreciate that dress in that scene, but I came in wearing jean shorts and I learned my lesson. I wasn't going to be dying in that class. As crazy as I probably looked to everybody in the class. It's okay. I'm like, there's a point where I'm like, once I started showing up to this class in like my workout clothes, then we're family. Until then, I'm okay. It's okay. I'm okay. I'm still having fun. I mean, I only just started at the end of April, but I'm still having fun, so it's really cool. I recommend getting out of your comfort zone because literally, it was so funny. It was just within like maybe the third, fourth class. It was just like I had been there forever. And it's also funny to like, because how like the class works is like you go in, you rehearse, and anyone shoots at the end of the class. And then if you want, you can stay. And nobody stayed for our scene, but I mean, I liked it. If I were to define my characters, I would say with friends with benefits with Mike, I would say flirt. Red, played by May, would be killer. Or crazy, maybe. No, killer is more about it. Anger, maybe. Or maybe like a quiet anger. Alright, like just prideful. That's, because all your characters are going to be angry and sad and happy and all of the words. But I would say her anger came from her pride and like she didn't like seeing her friend being manipulated. But it's very interesting. Like I thought about that character a lot. And I was like, she's also manipulating Alex. I don't know that I have a lot of feelings for the school admin. I wanted to be a detective. And then they recasted me. And then I got recasted. But it's fine. I did have the most lines, but whatever. I think, like, if this were, like, a TV show, obviously, that would be the end of my character. And then they would follow Devin and Giovanna around the rest of the scene. Or the rest of the show. Yeah, I just kind of played her ditzy, a little just like, oh my god, Francisco Paltrow? One of my so-called regulars, but not a man. I don't think I had like a big connection with the school admin as much as I did with the other two. I think the first one was just the hardest because it was the first time I was doing it, and then like I wasn't really connecting anything with anything. The second one was my favorite. I like a little bit of a bitchy persona and character or whatever, so I think that was just easier for me to tap into. Like I said, I kind of felt like the school admin was like background character, even though that's how I kind of played it too, right? Like I gotta take ownership for how I did it. Yep, well, that's what I've been doing. And also I crocheted this for my pillowcase, and this is one-sided, and this is it. This is one skein, and I was like, yep, I will not be doing that. Will not be buying multiple skeins to make pillowcases. I'm just gonna have to go find pillowcases for these big pillows. Yeah, but that's what I've been doing the last couple months. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I think I would want to do another review. I'd love critique. I just looked up to see, like, how do you critique an actor's performance? And it's, you know, physicality, emotional connection, does the character make sense, how you deliver the lines, tonality, voice choices, and I'm like, a lot of things here that I haven't even tapped into. So we shall think of more things. But yeah, so right now I think we've covered, yeah, so we've done a flirty character. I'm kind of like, there's another one. There's one that's coming up that's sad, somber flirt. There's another flirty one that's coming up, but she's more like I said, a little sad. I'm kind of excited for that role. I do get to play a detective in another one that's coming up. And I did think that was background character, but my acting coach did say, no, Jennifer, play it up, down, give your character arc. It's not just, you know, you're supporting actor and you support. I'm like, okay, right. We're making this scene art. Like, it keep being silly, like, oh, well, this is for them. But no, it's for the world. All right, friends, thank you for watching. Give me your notes. I love a good note. If you feel like, oh, like, look for a character that's like this, or you did a good job playing character that's bitchy, find more bitchy characters or bring more bitchy elements. Obviously, those are my favorites. Unless you did like flirty, and then you're like, be flirty, be goofy. Take goofy different. Make it stupid. Be stupid. We'll see. The world is our oyster. All right, thanks for watching. On to the next project. Bye. So what's a girl to do when her life is filled with consistently work and then gym and then, well, I'll tell you. You find something creative to do.